Hey everybody, what's up? Just heading over to the gym to go work out for a little bit and got a few minutes to do my continuation in the series of my favorite and least favorite lakes, state by state. And I'm not skipping over them on purpose. I'm just sort of randomly going through the list and going through it. And today's list is Kentucky. And man, I fished a lot of the lakes in Kentucky over the years. There's been a lot of tournaments there. And so I've spent a lot of time fishing the state. Beautiful state, by the way, especially Western Kentucky, man. That they got, it's just a really cool part of the state. Really like the looks of it over there. So I'm going to go through my favorite and least favorite lakes in the state. And by far, my favorite lake in the state of Kentucky, and without even a close second, is Lake Cumberland. I love Lake Cumberland. Lake Cumberland to me is, it ranks probably up in the top 5 in my favorite lakes in the entire country. And the couple different reasons I like it. Number one is it's really big. It's big, and Lake Cumberland probably fishes, I'm going to say without a doubt, it fishes bigger than any lake that I've ever been to in my life. It's got so many coves and little finger arms and little feeder creeks and that type of stuff that can just go back for miles. And you can get into one little feeder creek and spend all day in there. And there's very little dead water on the lake. Lake Cumberland's one of those lakes where you can put the trolling motor down and you got a chance to catch a bass about anywhere that you go. I just really love that aspect of it. And the second fact is it's undeveloped. There's not much shoreline development on it. There's very few docks. It's a pretty pristine lake. And as you all know, my ideal fishing scenarios when I go fishing, I don't want to see any sign of civilization. I don't want to see a house. I don't want to see a dock. I don't want to see nothing except woods and water and bank. So Cumberland's pretty close to that. And on top of all that, the lake is full of good fish. I mean, Cumberland has got some awesome smallmouth fishing in it. It's got some of the biggest, most quality smallmouth of any lake I've been to as far as for a man-made impoundment. It's got a great largemouth population. It's got some big spotted bass in it. There's a lot of diversity in the lake. I mean, you've got a lot of different stuff to fish. You've got points, you've got coves, you've got bluffs, you've got steep back ends, you've got flat back ends. You've got a lot of like a shoreline brush cover, like dead wood. The lake fluctuates a lot, so sometimes you've got a lot of flooded cover to fish. You can fish clear water, you can fish stained water. There's something for everybody, but it's just full of quality fish. I mean, I just love Lake Cumberland. I can't say enough about it. Okay, my least favorite lake, we'll go over across that. And without a doubt, and there's no doubt in Kentucky what my favorite and least favorite lakes are. My least favorite lake is Kentucky Lake. Even though I've done really good at Kentucky Lake. I fished a ton of tournaments there. I probably fished 20 tournaments in my career on Kentucky Lake, and I've done really good on that place. But I don't like it at all. Kentucky Lake is, in my opinion, one of the most overrated fisheries in the United States. And with the exception, let me preface a couple things. Let me start, from one thing that's positive about Kentucky Lake is when the water's high on Kentucky and Barkley, flooded in the bushes. Yeah, I love fishing it then. But under normal conditions, anytime that you're fishing from May until November, I can't stand fishing that lake because it's one of the biggest community hole lakes in the entire country. There's been more fights and more arguments and more confrontations on Kentucky Lake than any lake in the country that I'm aware of. Probably like Pickwick is second. But what you have is you've got a lot of these key areas, offshore areas on Kentucky Lake, these creek channel intersections that drop off into the main river channel, shell beds, points, that type of stuff. The Kentucky Lake is full of community offshore holes, and you always wind up fighting people to get on them. And there's always a group of people on the best water, and it's just a stressful, not a fun place to fish at all. Now the Asian carp have taken over the lake. The quality's really went downhill there a lot, and there's just not much good about that lake in my opinion. I mean, if you guys live on Kentucky Lake or fish it or like it a lot, I'm not trying to, dog your lake. I'm just saying from my standpoint, my preference on what I look for in lakes as far as good fishing. I don't see it on Kentucky Lake. It's another one of those places that it's sort of, I don't want to say unfair, but it's not. It's a deal where you always have a handful of guys that really catch them good, and a lot of other people are struggling if you look at the weights. And so much of it boils down to boat draw. If you're fishing any type of a tournament past May on Kentucky Lake, boat draw is critical. If you got one of those places where they're schooled up on one of those channel intersections, and you're not the first or second boat there, it doesn't matter how many fish you've caught, you're pretty much done for the day, unless you got more water like that. And more than likely, if you've got another spot like that, there's already boats on it. So I've seen the boat draw play a key role in people doing good or not doing good on Kentucky Lake, and that's not the case on Lake Cumberland. Lake Cumberland, you don't have to worry about that. It's such a great pattern lake that if you got somebody on your spot, which never happens there, you can always duplicate it around the rest of the lake. So basically, the difference between the two is Cumberland is an awesome pattern lake. You've got a lot of different potential and variables. And Kentucky Lake is a spot lake. It's a place where tournaments are usually won on one or two spots. If you don't have the sweet spot, then you're pretty much out of luck. So, I don't want to get on a rant about Kentucky Lake, but man, it's one of those places where, like I said, even though I've done really good there, I qualified for my first Redman All-American or BFL All-American there, had a bunch of top 20 finishes there, but I just don't like fishing it. I just don't. It's stressful. Every time we have a tournament that we say we're going to Kentucky Lake, my stress levels go up, and I just would soon not ever fish a tournament there again. But anyway, that's my two favorite. Love Lake Cumberland. Awesome lake. If you guys never had a chance to go to Cumberland, I'd highly suggest it. It'd be a great experience for you. And if you've never been to Kentucky Lake, that's no big deal. You're not really missing out, in my opinion. So anyway, that's today's favorite and least favorite for the state of Kentucky. And we'll be back soon with another one. Hope you guys are doing good. See you.